In government on Monday night, the Cultural Council met and started off their night by going through their NCC yearly timeline and discussing roles within the council. After discussing the timeline, the council proceeded to vote on how they will be using any extra grant money in their 2021 grant cycle. The council ultimately decided to allocate half to the library and half to the Nord Historical Society. The next Cultural Council meeting will be next month. The zoning board met Tuesday night and started off their night with a hearing for a proposed new garage on Florence Ave. The applicants withdrew their application without prejudice. With that being the only item on their agenda, the members then thanked Jack Perry, who is retiring, for all he has done over the years. Following the announcement of Jack Perry's retirement, the board discussed the news that Ramonda Morgan, longtime executive assistant, was leaving the zoning board. Each member spoke highly of Morgan and her time on the ZBA. Member Patrick Mulvihill had some strong words during his speech and ultimately made a surprising announcement.
And I guess my question that I don't have an answer till today is, why are we having this conversation? Why is she not here? Why is this woman, who is a valuable asset to our town, not here? Who loved her position? And I'm waiting for an answer from anybody upstairs. I'm waiting for anybody to chime in on this Zoom call. Give me a good reason why this employee, who is so heralded by so many, is not in front of us and is not in the employ of the town of Norwood. I'm frustrated. I'm mad. I'm more mad than anything that she is not sticking around and not with us. And I'd love some answers, but I don't think I'm going to get them, Mr. Chairman. And I'm quite frankly upset about that. Upset to the point, well, that leads to my next statement, that it was a hard decision, but it was also filled with, some good news on my end in my personal life, is that, as you alluded to in the past, I've become a grandfather recently of twins. My girlfriend Deidre and I, of 12, almost 13 years now, are ecstatic. But we're also cognizant of the fact that, we're getting up there in age, and we've got to, do certain things and have certain things to our way of life and for the kids' way of life. And it's with regret, but also some sort of happiness. And I think there's more regret and more anger now that I'm saying this because of the situation with Ramonda, is that I'm going to be retiring from the board as well with Mr. Perry. And tonight is my last meeting.
The next Zoning Board of Appeals meeting will be on March 16th. The Conservation Commission met in length Wednesday. The Commission's busy agenda included 3 public hearings and 2 certificate of compliance requests. The public hearings on Endine Trail and 49 Maxwell Ave were approved by the board with conditions laid out by Holly Jones, while the public hearing on 64 Puritan Place was continued for 2 weeks. The board expressed their concern regarding the certificate of compliance at University Ave and chose to deny the request at this time. Other business included the Conservation Agents Report and the hiring of a commission intern in the summer. The Conservation Commission is set to meet again in 2 weeks. The final meeting of the week was Wednesday's school committee meeting. Sigal Reese kicked off the meeting with her COVID cases presentation, as well as going into more detail about the recent directive that K-12 teachers, workers, and school staff are eligible to be vaccinated at local pharmacies and at mass vaccination sites starting March 11th. Dr. Thompson dove more into the projected full reopening of K-5 classrooms in early April, explaining some of the complications that need to be worked out, which include lunch breaks, quarantining, and classroom assignments. The committee is advocating to try to push the opening back until after April vacation to allow the proper time for implementation.
I recognize the importance of in-person instruction, and I certainly understand why there's a push to get more in-person instruction. But I just think that the logistics of trying to get this done in a month, I know that sounds like a long time, but given trying to get notice out to families about what is this going to look like, giving them an opportunity to make the choice, then giving the administration a chance to change classroom assignments, giving our staff a reasonable notice about their changes in assignments or their changes in working hours or any of that kind of information, and all of the physical moving stuff that has to happen. an extra 3 weeks would make a huge difference.
A big focal point of the meeting concerned the budget. Karen Sheridan presented the budget outlook, which includes district staffing requests that total 3.8 FTE or full-time equivalents, which include a requested increase in ELL and special education teachers. The committee concluded by discussing the 2021-2022 school calendar, as well as a memo regarding changes in the HR department. The school committee will meet again next week, March 10th. For complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org.